Hello everyone, Sons in the Tomb. Welcome to another mod overview, this time on HotbarLock Reborn. A mod that simply adds the ability for you to lock certain slots on your hotbar. Now, I don't know how much is similar from the original, but as far as I can tell, the key binding part, the actual locking, and how it displays the actual slot that's locked is like so. But I think there is additional features or certain minor changes in this one. So we'll just cover this one as if it's like it's from scratch, and we're not even comparing it to this one at all. But for those that want the original, it's for 112, and obviously for this, it's still for 112. And there's obviously the 115 and 116 versions. So what you've got with the actual mod first up is just pressing the R key by default, which you can change the key binding of, and it will just lock the slot that you have here. So if I try and drop anything, it's not going to drop it. If I unlock it, I can now drop things on the ground. So if I want to avoid, say, my sword being dropped, or I don't want my blocks to drop when I'm building, then there's that as an option. And I'll obviously tell you in chat if you, want it to, which is a config option. I've just got to enable just so you can see, because I'd have to reload the game, and so that can be quite annoying. Otherwise, if you want to change the key binding that you are using to lock things, you can simply change it like so here, under the miscellaneous options. So yeah, you can change that if you don't want it to be R to any key you want. And it doesn't seem to be interfering with JEI either when locking it like so. So that's fine. Otherwise though, you can lock a multitude, so you can lock pretty much every slot if you want, no problem. Or you can do the other. You only do it one by one. You can't do it for locking all or unlocking all. You have to do each slot, unless you're using the config, of course, where you just set them all to true instead of false. There's that. Otherwise, though, that's pretty much it for like the basics. You do obviously have a colorblind mode, which if you saw in the config real quick, you can enable or disable that, which typically these are red, but they will be converted to pink instead. So that's a nice feature. And obviously the chat output is available as well. Now by default it is disabled, but if you do want it to tell you which ones are, if say you can't really tell from the lines alone, or for the different colors, or you just want some other feedback, then you've got that as an option. So there's that. Other than that though, we'll go to the configs, which like I showed obviously before, there's the slots, which if you just install the mod and load up the game, then you can, or you want to change things accordingly. Say for a mod pack, you can do that, but by default they're pretty much, I think, all false. But then obviously you can have whichever ones set accordingly. So for the mod pack, for example, if I had it where my 9th one was my one where I start the player with cobblestone and it's locked so that they obviously can still build, then there's that, or so I can do that. But yeah, obviously it's just locking it on and off. It's not like anything else where it prevents from death. So if we just go here, which will speed up to nighttime if I can, which it will try and do. I don't think we can speed it up a bit faster. And there we go. We don't have any mobs now, but I could have just gone with a cactus actually, which I've got a cactus right here, so I might as well use that. And we'll go into normal, which helps to set up the monsters, so that was really the point. Either way, you get the idea. If like we'll take damage and our stuff will not be locked to be similar like a keep inventory thing, it's just going to be that it locks it from you dropping them, not death. So yeah. Otherwise you have the ability for the chat output, which we've covered, the colorblind mode, which is for obviously the lines, which they're currently green. If they were locked, they'd be either red without it and pink with colorblind mode enabled. And you've got the show GUI option, which is pretty much, I think, just that part there, or the locking. I'll have to check. change the GUI. Yeah, that's with the lines. Sorry, that's the lines part. So if you can see that they're green now, and obviously I set them accordingly to now be pink. That's pretty much the GUI part. So if you just want it to be that you don't really find it that beneficial, you can't really see them anyways, or you just don't want that part there on your hotbar or something, you remove that. You can get your feedback still from here, or if you don't want any feedback, then just disable everything, and yeah, so you can completely remove them. Otherwise though, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.